Is blog even still a word? Do people still reference a blog? Aren't they dead? That's funny. That is really funny because I just opened up my analytics this morning on two of our brands that we're building inside of Brand Creators Academy. And one of them's getting just over 25,000 unique visitors or page views. The other one is just over 30,000. And both of those are trending up. Well, hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Rock Your Brand Podcast. I'm your host, Scott Voelker, a serial entrepreneur on a mission to help you. This show is designed to teach you, to inspire you, to motivate you to take massive action and build a future-proof business. So, whether you're just starting out or taking your existing business to the next level, this is your home. Now, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's rock your brand. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Rock Your Brand Podcast. This is episode 938, and that's the first time I've done the hey since the Amazing Seller podcast. Those of you that are longtime listeners, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, today, I'm going to give you a little brief intro on what we're going to be discussing. It's a pretty interesting topic, a very good topic, and that is, how do I get free traffic from Google to my website? And I'm going to give you an example. I'm actually going to dive deep into this example because we just reached over 30,000 visitors, and I'm going to share with you what that strategy is. Now, it does have to do with content, but I'm going to walk you through everything. And this is also part of our morning coffee talks, and I'm going to play this little segment for you. But I do want to remind you, if you want to hang out with us Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, then head on over to takeactioncrew.com. If you go there, you are going to be able to basically sign up to be part of our group. It's free. And you're also going to see a really cool player that you get to search for anything that you are struggling with or things that you need help with. There's a very cool little player there for you to use, absolutely free. So just head on over to takeactioncrew.com and you'll get all the details there. Once again, this is episode 938. And yes, you can get the show notes still over at brandcreators.com/938. But really what we're going to be talking about here today is how do we create these digital assets on our website that constantly bring traffic to our website absolutely free. So if that sounds interesting, stick around because that's what we're going to cover on this show. All right, today I want to talk about how to get free website traffic in 2021 using blog content. Is blog even still a word? Do people still reference a blog? Aren't they dead? That's funny. That is really funny because I just opened up my analytics this morning on two of our brands that we're building inside of Brand Creators Academy. And one of them's getting just over 25,000 unique visitors or page views. The other one is just over 30,000. And both of those are trending up. Okay. And they are technically WordPress blogs. Yes, I said it. Blogs. All right. Now, a blog isn't like it used to be. A blog used to be what social media is today. It used to be where you would pop on and go, tonight I'm thinking about cooking a roast, and I think I'm going to try this recipe from this website and blah, 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 blah. And it was just a little thing that you would tell people in your RSS feed. Remember RSS feeds? They're still out there, by the way. I don't think anybody subscribes to them anymore, but it's kind of like an email list, but you would just get notified when a new, blog post would go live. And people always thought blogs were news. They can be, but blogs are basically a website where you can post articles, content, videos, whatever. Okay. It's a place where you put your content. That's what it is. Okay. But what I'm going to be talking about here today is exactly to a T how we have taken two brand new brands over the last 12 months and how we have generated now in traffic And I haven't looked at the overall traffic. I should have did that, but well over probably 300,000, probably more than that now. I guess combined it'd be over 700,000. But right now they are growing, and they are most likely going to both clip 30 to 40,000 page views here in the next 30 to 60 days. It's growing. Over 1,000 consistently, over 1,000 visitors every single day. How? Posting content. One of them, I've built an email list. Email it about 2 times per week, sometimes only once, but usually 2 times a week. The other one, we don't even have an email list. Well, I take that back. I didn't think we had an email list until I looked, and I forgot when I set that up. I created a quick little lead magnet. I slapped it up there, forgot about it, and just looked the other day. We've got 575 email subscribers that I have not emailed anything to. So again, one of those things, it was like, I put it up there, but I forgot about it. And here I have 575 emails of people that opted in for a lead magnet. All right. Because the traffic is coming in. All right. So, all right, let's kind of talk about this. So how can you get free traffic still in 2021? There was just a recent, I forget the name of it, but there was just a recent Google update. Everybody panicked. Okay. Here's the deal. If you're writing content or posting content on your website, and you are doing it in a legit way, meaning it's useful, it's helpful, you're not keyword stuffing it, you're not trying to game the system, you're not trying to add these backlinks from all of these spammy sites. If you're not doing any of that stuff, you're going to do fine. Okay? So in 2021, the idea is to create useful content, and I'm going to give you 3 different types that we are using. And I would say the first type is probably driving 75% of the traffic, and it's the easiest to create. Okay. So I'm just going to throw that out there. But what you always want to do though, is you want to look at, okay, your website, your market, and how can you serve them with content and do it in a legit way. I've always said this. It doesn't matter, if you're selling on Amazon, you don't want to game the system. You don't want to game the algorithm. There's no reason to. And if you do, it's usually going to be short-lived, and it could get you in trouble, right? There's a lot of people that this algorithm update from Google, it hurt a lot of people. Their traffic went away overnight. Some people, it went up. Some people had a dip and then it came back, okay? Because what it does is it reevaluates. We didn't see any drop. If anything, we've seen growth. Okay. And again, this is not like high tech type stuff. It's following these 3 types of content. Very, very simple to create. And on these 2 brands, I didn't write 1 word of it. Okay. I hired it out. Okay. Now, if you don't have a budget to do that, write it yourself. If you can't write it yourself, hire a high school kid. So it's like writing a term paper, or not even. It's like writing a 1,500-page essay. Okay, have them write it. Pay them $10 an hour. Okay, so there's ways that we can do this. So there's no excuse, and it does not have to be this epic content. It does not have to be. Now, you do have to validate your market, and I always talk about validating the traffic first, because if I can't get traffic, there's no sense in me doing this. So I can sell, to who? I can't sell anything if I don't have the traffic, right? So when we go through our brand creators playbook and the validation part of that, we're always looking for traffic first. Okay. Then from there, we can look at monetization. That's also part of the validation process. I probably should mention that. If you have not grabbed a copy of the playbook, you probably want to head on over to brandcreatorsbook.com. It'll give you everything you need. Okay. So let's get started. What are we going to start with? If you are brand new, or maybe you started and then you stopped, here's what I want to recommend for you. The first type of content, and you can literally go probably 30, 40 articles or content pieces. You could go that many right out of the gate. And what I would do is I would start with 20. Okay. 20. And I wouldn't go with the other 2 yet. Okay. And here's why. When we're creating that content, we can do it quick. Okay. And we're going to be able to rank faster. The more pieces we put out there, the more seeds that we plant, the better chance we have of some catching and some giving us some traffic. The other thing is once we start to rank in Google, it also starts to take our authority of our site up a little bit because now we're trusted within Google. Okay. So it really serves both of those areas. All right. So the first thing, very, very simple. What do we do when we go to Google? Why do we go there? Usually we go there to ask it a question. True? I don't know about you, but I'm always asking questions. Okay. So questions, there's 3 buckets of content. One is questions. Okay. So you might say, well, Scott, what do you like? How can I write a post on a question? It's very simple. It's very, very simple. So here's an example. If I was a new fisherman, okay, and I wanted to go fishing at night, I might ask this question. Can fish see at night? That might be the question because I want to know, is it even worth it for me to go fishing at night? I don't know. Should I? A very, very simple search query. That's it. Okay. Can fish see at night? Or you might even want to niche it down a little bit and go, can bass fish see at night? Maybe that's the one, right? And then I'm going to get my answer. Now, the answer is going to be right there. You're going to answer that, but then you're going to elaborate on that. You're going to elaborate on the style of fish. You're going to elaborate why it's important to use a certain lure at night, because then it will maybe trigger their like. And I'm making this stuff up, guys. I have no idea about that market. Okay, but you understand what I'm saying, right? Can fish see at night? So maybe in your market, you might just want to put in the keyword, the first word, kind of like your starter word, can blank, right? Like figure that part out. Once you do that, now what you're going to do is you're going to see other related questions that Google's going to give you. And they're going to say, hey, here's 4 other, questions that other people asked after they asked that question or related to that question. Now you got 4 more. Now you got 5 posts. And I am telling you right now, when we first started these brands, I hardly looked at keywords in Ubersuggest. Very, very little. I didn't care if it got 0 searches. If it showed up in that search thing, I know that it's getting some traffic. Okay. Now, if you want to get a little bit more researchy, you can and go to Ubersuggest or any tool that you want and see what type of searches they're getting. But the problem with that is a lot of times it holds people up because then you're like, it's only getting like 10 searches a month. I want to find when it gets 100 searches a month. I want to find when it gets 1,000 searches a month. Here's the reality. If you see one, like let's say one long tail keyword, we call that long tail. Like this would be a long tail. Can fish see at night? That's kind of long tail, right? It's not bass fish, right? Or bass fishing, right? It's just literally can fish see at night or can bass see at night, whatever. Okay. So when you create a piece of content around that long tail keyword, you're going to also get indexed for a variety of other long tail keywords. Okay. So now that one keyword that you went in with might only get 10 searches, but there's also going to be a variation off of that because you have other keywords in your article naturally as you talk about this thing that lead people over. Now all of a sudden you're getting 10 views, or 10 visits from that query. You're getting another 15 from another query. You're getting another 25 from another query. And then what happens is all of these add up to where you're getting 100, 200, 300 per blog post. Okay. That's what you need to understand. Okay. 10 questions is what I would start with. And if you want to get crazy, do 20. And I wouldn't even think about any other content right now. 75%, maybe even a little bit more of our content is question-based. Okay, is question-based. Now, why is that important? If someone's searching for a question related to your market, is there a chance that they are interested in your market? There's a huge chance. They search for something that's related to your market, right? If they're searching for can fish see at night, there's a good chance that they're probably looking to go fishing at night, right? And they're probably looking for fishing lures for a night. Well, how about this one? Can you use minnows to catch bass? That's another one. Do you think if I search for that I'm looking to go bass fishing? Yes. Okay. Here's another one. Can you catch bass in a pond? Do you think that that person's interested in bass fishing? Probably, but now we niche it down to where they're going fishing in a pond. All right. And then here's another one. Best place to catch bass at night. It's another question. Okay. And the cool thing is when you do this, you're just blanketing the market with all of these questions, all of these low-hanging fruit keywords. And the reason why I say that is because they're a lot easier to rank for as well. Not everyone's going after them. Okay. And there's not as much competition. So you have to seed the market. You got to flood the market with questions because that's what Google wants. Like Google is there to answer your questions. Okay. So that's number one, questions. And I could stop right there and go, all right, guys, go do it. Go do your question posts and come back to me when you got 20 of them babies done. Okay. And before I move into the second one, the second type of content, I did want to say this. I ran an experiment on one of our brands, the public brand. They're both going to be public here pretty soon, but the one that we've been kind of highlighting, I literally did about, I think it was 20 questions. And all of those questions were almost the same question. And I did 20 different posts. And then I did one post that was kind of like a roundup of all of those posts. I'm going to go ahead and probably get, I'm going to guess, but I'm going to go through and I'm going to actually tally this up. I bet you that because we did those posts, that those right there are bringing in, well, I can tell you one right now. Let me do this here real quick. One of those questions, which is just mind blowing. It gets 3,600 visits, or I'm sorry, 3,600 searches a month. We are ranking number one for this keyword, which is not. I can't share it here because it's private inside the academy. But if you're in the academy, you guys probably know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to actually break this down here shortly. This month, I'm going to actually do this deep dive in both of these niches. We got 1,094 visitors from that one question-based post. Okay. There's another one here. Almost the same. We just changed out one word in this long tail. It gets 2,400 searches. We're ranking number one. We got 730 visitors because we're in number one position. Here's another one. Very similar. We just changed out one word. 1,900 of searches a month, according to Ubersuggest. We're ranking number one. We got 578. So just those three alone, if I tally those up, 1,094, 882. Let's make that 1,900. And then we go down there. It's like 2,500. So 2,500 visitors from 3 question-based posts, which if you were to look at this, it probably, at a glance, you'd be like, how can I write a post on a question? Can you catch bass at night? It's crazy, but it works. Okay. Do not overcomplicate this. Do not think you have to have all of these epic posts that are, 5,000, 10,000. Here's the deal. We're ranking for hundreds of keywords, actually thousands. If I go back here, and if you guys are listening to this, you can't see me, but I'm kind of scrolling through some analytics. 15,834 keywords. Yeah. Okay. And here's the crazy thing too. Any of you that are SEO people out there, we did not do any outreach for backlinking. We don't do any outreach for backlinking. I don't think it's worth the time, to be quite honest with you. I think it's just posting more content. And obviously looking at your content as you start to rank and seeing how you can level up some of that content. We have 691 backlinks. And 413 are no follows. So what's that? 200 and some backlinks that we didn't reach out for. So we're starting to get that domain authority because we're getting backlinks. Totally organic. And I'm going to actually do this on the fly here. So bear with me if you guys are listening. If you guys have any questions on this, if you are here on the live coffee talk, drop them in the comments or just on the replay. If you're listening to this and you're not part of our coffee talk and you want to be, head on over to takeactioncrew.com and you can join us live when we do stuff like this. So let me look at this other one real quick. That one there, we're ranking for 13,007 keywords. and and we have 1,898 backlinks and only 40 of them are no follow. Zero outreach on backlinking, by the way. Zero. Okay. It's just planting seeds. That's all we're doing. We're just planting seeds and we're doing it consistently. I can't stress that enough. If you're not doing it consistently on anything, I'm telling you right there, that's the secret weapon, consistency. Show up, stop looking at your analytics every day. Like I haven't checked these analytics like I am right now for at least 30 days. Now, do I check in daily to see how my traffic is? Yes, I do that now because we've turned on Ezoic ads. So I kind of want to see what my revenue is per thousand and all those things. I want to see how we're trending and things like that. But I'm not doing a deep dive into the content that's ranking normally. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and move into the second piece of content. And this is a really good one. Okay. And it's kind of question-based, but it's going to be more demonstration. How to. Just add that little prefix there. How to catch bass in a pond at night, right? How to catch bass in a pond at night. How to tie a fishing line knot. It's a how-to, okay? How to cast using bass lures, okay? Now, if there was a certain type of bass lure that was a certain way, because there are, by the way, I know this because I've bought some and I'm like, okay, now I need to know how am I supposed to bring that through the water? Am I supposed to tug it twice and let it set? Am I supposed to cast it, let it drop to the bottom and then jig it twice? Like I need to know this stuff. They don't tell you that on the package, okay? So I may put in there a specific lure, something like big fat bassy. Maybe that's the name, right? Fishing lure. How to jig or how to use. And then I might find a search specifically for that lure. Now, that would also lead into a product-based post, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, right? But the how-tos are very good as well because people are always looking for how to do X, Y, and Z, right? And they want to see it. So that's technically could be a question, but it's also more of a how-to, more of an instruction. If I was showing someone how to tie a fishing line knot, I would want to see pictures of it. If I'm answering a question, not so many pictures, okay? Or maybe a video for how to tie a fishing line knot, okay? And maybe there's 5 different kinds of fishing line knots, which there probably are. So then I would show 5 different ones. 5 best fishing line knots for bass fishing. Maybe that's it, okay? That's the content, all right? So that's number 2, how to content, okay? How to content. So number 1, questions. And we can live in questions for a while. A lot of questions, a lot of content, okay? Number 2, how to. Number 3 is product-based posts, okay? Product-based post. Let me give you some examples. 5 best bass fishing lures in 2021. Now, what I just did there was I made it more relevant to today because we're in 2021. If I created one last year, I could update that one and add 2021, and I've got a brand new post now, okay? So 5 best bass fishing lures in 2021. Now, these are products that people are looking to buy. If I am looking for that post, that means that I am looking for bass fishing lures. I want to buy a bass fishing lure in 2021. Okay. Another example of this, if you were in the woodworking space, would be 5 best router bits for woodworking. And you could even put 5 best router bits in 2021 for woodworking if you wanted to. Another great angle here for product-based posts are this versus this, or pros and cons. Okay. So here's an example. If I was in woodworking, once again, Delta versus Ryobi routers. Pros and cons. That would be one. And I can do a whole comparison, right? It's like a shootout. Then I can change out one of those. I could go Delta versus, Craftsman routers, right? Delta versus, and I would want to do a little bit of research here to see what people are actively searching for. That's where I would start. And the cool thing is once you start to sprinkle these in, now we're creating what I like to call offers for people to buy. Now, they don't have to be your products. They can be other people's products. If you're selling a router, okay, that router might cost $300, $500. I don't know what they cost nowadays, but they're expensive. So, if someone's coming there looking for a router, they may buy it. If they do, they're going to go through your link and you may get a commission. So that post that you create, that's evergreen, by the way, which is living out there, for forever until you take it down, can be found today, tomorrow, a year from now, 6 years from now. And as long as it's relevant, there's a chance that they can buy. Okay. And also, if you ever have a post that starts to rank for maybe a certain tool that no longer is available, you can even just keep that post, but then put updated and then say, since posting this first one, they came out with an update, or they came out with a better version, or they came out with their new XYZ router. And then you can link to that other post. Now you can kind of capitalize on the post that's already ranking well and drive people to another post that you could eventually get that one to rank well. Okay. So these are just some examples, but I do want to say questions they're going to be a huge part of your content, and they should be. Here's the other thing. The reason why I'm also excited about both of these sites is there's not one piece of content that's driving a bulk of the traffic. That's the cool thing. So if I look at yesterday alone, okay, I'm going to go into my analytics here real quick. You guys won't be able to see this, but you can kind of hear me do the play-by-play. Okay. And the reason why we want this is because we don't want one post that's driving all the traffic. Because what happens if that post, I don't know, gets de-indexed for whatever reason? Now, all of a sudden, we lost a good chunk of our traffic. We want to diversify that traffic, and we want to be able to, see different traffic coming in from a variety of different ones or different keywords. So I'm just going through here. Now, if I look at in the last, let me see here. I'll go back. This is just the last 7 days. Okay. The last 7 days, number one article had 653 page views. Okay. The next one, number two, got 409. The next one, number three, got 362, then 325, then 322, then 302, then 241, then 213, then 198, then 191. That's the top 10. But here's the deal. There's 301 right now that are bringing in traffic. Now, they aren't all individual posts because we don't have that many posts. It's different terms or different search queries that are bringing the traffic over. All right. So 301 places for people to kind of enter into. And some of them, if you go here, I'll just expand this out and go to top 100. If I go to the 100th one, it's getting 16. It got 16 views in the last 7 days. Okay. The one, number 99 got 17. Let's see. 97 got 17. Let's see. 92 got 18. And then 84 got 22. So all of these are adding up to where in that 7 days, we had 8,532 page views. Times 4, you're over 30,000. That's the last 7 days of where I am right now as I'm recording this. But actually, it's going to be probably higher than that because I'm doing right now. We are right now at January 4th at the time of recording this. And so far, just in the last 3 days on this one that I'm looking at, the one niche, 3,890 page views. Okay. So let's see. I had 1,278 yesterday, 1,335 on Saturday, and 1,277 on Friday. Looks like we're trending up. Okay. But all of these are random. I mean, it's like 323 for the last 3 days, 323 on the one page or the one post, 178 on the other, 160 on the other, 152 on the other, 147 on the other, 133, and so on. It just keeps going down the list. So they all collectively add up to that. And I like that because that means that if one article just lost its steam, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. So, all right. Hopefully this has inspired you, helped you, motivated you, gave you some ideas on what you can do. And I just wanted to kind of repeat what I had just said here as far as the 3 that I want you to consider for content types. And do not overcomplicate this. Number 1, questions. Number 2, how to. Number 3, product-based posts. Best, this versus this, and reviews. All right. If all you do is focus on that, content, if all you do is focus on that for the next 12 months, do at least one post. In the beginning, I would try to get 10 to 20 question-based posts done up in the next 30 to 60 days. Then if you want to go to one per week, that's totally fine. But you want to seed the market with your questions, with your how-tos, with your product-based posts. All right, so there you have it. Yes, it is still possible to get free traffic to your website, but it does require showing up, putting in a little bit of effort. And I say little bit of effort. Once you get this thing down, it's kind of like anything. We know how to do a push-up, right? We just got to show up and do the push-up, or we got to show up to the gym if we want to get in shape. It's the same thing. We got to show up, we got to commit to it, and we need to do it on a regular basis. Now, for some of you, maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, I just don't know what I can write about, or I don't know if this is even good for my niche. Well, then I would encourage you to head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com. That is where we help brand creators every single day, every single month, build out their brands. And a lot of it is focused around building out content assets along with your email list and making digital products. So you have things to offer people, but we do focus heavily on content. Now, it is a closed community. You will need to apply, but if you're interested, head on over to brandcreatorsacademy.com, fill out a quick little survey, and we will be in touch. All right. So guys, this is 938. You can head on over to the show notes, grab all the show notes, the links that I talked about, or the Coffee Talk over on takeactioncrew.com. But the show notes are over at brandcreators.com/938. And one last thing. If you've been listening to this podcast for any amount of time and you've gotten any value from it, what I would love for you to do is head on over to iTunes or wherever you're listening to this show and let us know with a review. Let us know what is one thing that this podcast has helped you with. And I don't care if it's been listening to one episode or 938 episodes. There's got to be one thing that you've taken away and the reason why you're listening here today. So if you could do that for me, that would mean everything to me, because really I am here to serve you and I want to hear from you. So do that in a review. That would be awesome. All right, guys. So that's it. That's going to wrap it up. As always, remember, I'm here for you. I believe in you and I am rooting for you. But you have to, come on, say it with me, say it loud, say it proud, take action. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Now let's rock your brand.